Yo, buckle up, because I'm about to take you on a wild ride through the first 3 chapters of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief. Imagine a mashup of Greek mythology, teenage angst, and epic chaos, like if Stranger Things met Attack on Titan, but with more sass and less demogorgons. Percy Jackson, our dude, is about to discover his life is a whole RPG, and he's the player nobody warned about the God mode settings. So, Percy starts by dropping the biggest flex/warning ever: if you think you're a demigod, don't read this book unless you want your life to explode. No joke, this kid is like, don't say I didn't warn you, which is the kind of reverse psychology that makes you lean in. Anyway, Percy is a 12-year-old with ADHD and dyslexia, which, spoiler alert, aren't weaknesses, they're his superpowers. But we're not there yet. He's at this super fancy private school called Yancey Academy, which is full of rich snobs and bullies. Percy's basically the underdog protagonist you root for, even when he's messing up. His bestie, Grover, is this kind of awkward, low-key nervous guy who's always like, don't do the thing, Percy. And Percy's like, bet, and does the thing. You know how it is. Their teacher, Chiron, is a Latin nerd who's chill in an old man knows everything way. There's also Mrs. Dodds, the math teacher from your nightmares. She gives off serious Baba Yaga in a pencil skirt vibes, with eyes that say, I'd flunk you and enjoy it. Things pop off during a school field trip to the Metropolitan Museum of Art because, of course, it's always the most boring setting where things go bonkers. Percy's just vibing, low-key roasting himself for not knowing the difference between Roman and Greek statues, when his bully, Nancy Bobofit, think Regina George with worse hygiene, starts messing with Grover. Percy loses his temper, and boom, water from a fountain goes brrrr and dunks Nancy. Percy's confused because, like, he didn't mean to do that. Still, Nancy looks like a drowned rat, so hashtag small wins. Cue Mrs. Dodds pulling Percy aside with her scary we need to talk face. Except instead of detention, she pulls a full-on demon transformation. I'm talking leathery wings, claws, the works. Percy's like, is this a prank? But no, Dodds is legit trying to murder him. Out of nowhere, Chiron tosses Percy a pen, and, plot twist, it turns into a sword. That's right, our boy suddenly has a celestial bronze blade, and he goes // vaporizing Mrs. Dodds like she's a pixelated boss in Minecraft. Wild. After this, things get real sus. Nobody remembers Mrs. Dodds, not even Grover. They gaslight Percy so hard he starts questioning his sanity. Like, did he imagine the demon math teacher? But Grover's acting sketchy, muttering about the kindly ones and keeping weird tabs on Percy. Percy's like, bro, what aren't you telling me? But Grover's lips are sealed tighter than a vault in Fortnite. Meanwhile, Percy keeps having this feeling like he's being watched, and honestly, same. Fast forward to the end of the school year, and Percy heads home to Manhattan. His mom, Sally, is an absolute queen. Sweet, caring, works at a candy shop, but is stuck with Gabe Agliano, aka Smelly Gabe, the world's worst stepdad. Gabe smells like moldy gym socks and treats Sally like garbage, which makes Percy's blood boil. You can practically hear the boss battle theme start playing every time Gabe waddles into the room. Sally decides Percy needs a break, so she takes him to Montauk, their favorite beach spot. It's wholesome, just the two of them enjoying the sea breeze and escaping Smelly Gabe's stench. But the chill vibes don't last because Grover shows up, looking like he just sprinted from a Dark Souls dungeon. Oh, and plot twist number 2, Grover isn't just Percy's awkward best friend, he's a satyr. Yup, dude's been walking around with goat legs this whole time, and Percy's like, how did I not notice this? Grover's in full panic mode, rambling about monsters and danger, and Percy's like, can we chill for 2 seconds? But nope, no time for chill. A storm's brewing, literally, and Sally knows what's up. She's been keeping secrets, too, because she immediately hustles the boys into her beat-up car and speeds off like she's Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious, mythology drift. Turns out, Percy's dad, the mysterious guy who bailed before Percy was born, isn't just some rando. He's someone important. Sally doesn't spill all the tea, but she's clearly terrified. As they're driving, this massive shape comes out of the storm. It's the Minotaur. Yeah, the Minotaur, straight out of Greek mythology, looking like a jacked-up bull dude ready to rumble. Sally's like, run to the hill. Literally, and tells Percy and Grover to make a break for a place called Camp Half-Blood. Percy's brain is spinning, but there's no time to process because the Minotaur snatches Sally. She dissolves into golden light, which is equal parts beautiful and horrifying. Percy's absolutely shattered but also furious. He charges the Minotaur with all the pent-up rage of a gamer who just got killed by lag, manages to snap off one of its horns, and stabs the monster in a clutch move that would have earned him a kill cam replay. Percy passes out because, let's be real, fighting mythological creatures is exhausting. When he wakes up, he's in the weirdest place, a camp that's part summer retreat, part training ground for heroes. Camp Half-Blood. Grover's there, looking sheepish, literally, and Percy's like, explain. Everything. And that, my friends, is where the real adventure begins. Percy's just leveled up, but he has no clue what kind of quests, boss fights, and plot twists are waiting for him. So, yeah, that's chapters 1 through 3. It's got everything: friendship, betrayal, epic monster fights, and a main character who's just trying to figure out why the universe decided to make his life a Greek tragedy. And trust me, it only gets crazier from here. Alright, let's dive into chapters 4 through 6 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief. Strap in, because it's like the training montage from Demon Slayer mixed with the Hunger Games, with a side of Greek mythology DLC. Percy is officially out of the kiddie pool and thrown headfirst into the deep end of the mythological madness. No floaties. So Percy wakes up after his Minotaur fight in what looks like a rustic summer camp but vibes more like Hogwarts for kids who could totally solo gods in Elden Ring. The place is called Camp Half-Blood, and it's not your average camping spot with esmores and kumbayas. This is the hub for demigods, kids with one mortal parent and one godly parent. Yup, Percy's part of the My Dad is a literal god club. Wild, right? His tour guide? Grover. Goat legs and all. Grover finally explains himself. He's Percy's protector, a satyr assigned to keep Percy alive because, apparently, monsters are all about turning demigods into snacks. Percy's still processing the fact that his bestie has been half-goat this whole time, but honestly, it's kind of a vibe. Grover's nervous energy makes more sense now. Dude's been stressed because Percy's existence is a magnet for trouble. As Percy explores Camp Half-Blood, he's hit with a sensory overload. There's a strawberry field, random, but okay, a bunch of cabins that look like they were designed by Pinterest gods, and campers sparring like it's Smash Brothers IRL. The camp director is Dionysus, aka the god of wine, who's basically the human version of ugh, I'm over it. He's cranky, hates being there, and calls Percy Peter Johnson on purpose. It's giving big grumpy teacher stuck in detention duty energy. Meanwhile, the other adult in charge is Chiron. Plot twist, this dude isn't just a Latin teacher, he's a full-on centaur. Percy's reaction is pure gold. How did I not notice the horse body under the jacket? Classic. Next, Percy meets Annabeth Chase, the girl of Camp Half-Blood. She's a daughter of Athena, which basically means she's wicked smart, scary resourceful, and not here to babysit Percy's clueless self. Annabeth clocks Percy immediately and is like, you drooled in your sleep, didn't you? Percy's like, ouch, but fair. She's got that Hermione Granger meets Mikasa Ackerman energy, focused, driven, and not afraid to roast Percy if he's being dumb. Annabeth is all about the hero life, and she's been at the camp forever. Her motto is don't get attached, but also don't mess with me, which Percy finds both intimidating and intriguing. Camp life is all fun and games until Percy realizes everyone knows their godly parent, except him. The cabins are split by divine lineage, and Percy gets stuck in cabin 11, the Hermes cabin, because Hermes is the god of travelers and thieves, aka, it's the default Airbnb for unclaimed demigods. The cabin is a chaotic dorm room on steroids, with way too many campers crammed into one space. The vibe is very much live, laugh, steal, and Percy's like, this is fine, maybe. Just as Percy's trying to get his bearings, Luke Castellan swoops in. Luke is the cabin 11 counselor and basically the camp's cool older brother. Think Kakashi but with a sword instead of a headband. He's got charm for days, battle scars, and major been-through-it energy. Luke gives Percy a pep talk and teaches him some swordplay, but you can tell there's more to him than just being the friendly mentor. Then, because Percy's life can't stay chill for 5 minutes, the campers drag him into a game of capture the flag. But this isn't your average middle school field day nonsense. This is hardcore, no-holds-barred, battle royale-style capture the flag, complete with swords, shields, and magical powers. Percy's team is already on edge because, let's face it, he's the new kid with zero skills. Annabeth is there too, and she's not so secretly hoping Percy fails just so she can say I told you so. Harsh, but it's her way of testing him. As the game kicks off, Percy's having the time of his life getting smacked around in the woods, when, surprise, a freaking hellhound shows up. Yes, an actual monster crashes the game and goes straight for Percy. Everyone's panicking, and Percy's like, this is fine, but it's totally not. The monster claws Percy up, but instead of dying, something insane happens. He steps into a nearby creek, and the water heals him. Instantly. Like he's got an aqua heal buff on max level. Everyone freezes, and Chiron's like, well, that clears that up. Why? Because the water magic reveals Percy's godly parent. The camp's giant bonfire suddenly lights up with a hologram of a glowing trident above Percy's head, which is basically a neon sign saying Poseidon's kid. Q gasps. Poseidon, the god of the sea, is one of the big three gods, along with Zeus and Hades, and those three made a pact not to have demigod kids because their offspring are too powerful and cause too much chaos. So Percy existing? A major no-no. Now Percy's got a target on his back, and the stakes just shot through the roof. After the flag game chaos, Percy gets a sit-down with Chiron and Annabeth to get the tea on why everyone's so pressed about him being Poseidon's kid. Turns out, the world is on the brink of a godly meltdown. Zeus's master lightning bolt, the ultimate flex of godly power, has been stolen, and Zeus thinks Poseidon is behind it. Poseidon's like, nah, wasn't me, but Zeus isn't buying it. Now the gods are ready to throw hands, and guess who's stuck in the middle of this drama? That's right, Percy. Zeus thinks Poseidon gave the bolt to Percy to hide it, which is ridiculous because, Percy didn't even know he was a demigod until like 2 days ago. Annabeth, meanwhile, is hyped because she smells a quest. She's been waiting for a chance to prove herself as a hero, and she's got that I want to be the very best, like no one ever was energy. Chiron's like, slow your roll, but it's obvious Percy is about to get roped into some epic, world-saving shenanigans. Percy's overwhelmed, but also kind of fired up. I mean, if you found out your dad was the literal god of the sea, wouldn't you want to see what kind of powers you've got? So that's where we're at by the end of chapter 6. Percy's life has officially gone full mythology anime. He's discovered his true parentage, fought a monster, and learned that the fate of the world might rest on his very confused, very sarcastic shoulders. And honestly, the dude's handling it like a champ. Sure, he's clueless, but he's got heart, a sword, and just enough spite to make you think he might actually pull this off. Stay tuned, because this ride's only getting wilder. Alright, here's the tea on chapters 7 and 8 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief. Our boy Percy has officially unlocked the Child of Poseidon achievement, and things at Camp Half-Blood are going from zero to full-blown God of War real quick. First off, Percy's still reeling from the Poseidon trident reveal. Like, 1 minute, he's trying to survive middle school, and now he's got a godly dad, a prophecy hanging over his head, and Zeus probably plotting his destruction. Classic Monday, right? Everyone at camp is either treating him like he's some VIP destined for greatness or side-eyeing him like he's the final boss who's about to wreck the whole server. It's a vibe, but not a great one. Chiron starts breaking things down for Percy. Turns out, the whole Big Three pact about not having kids was less of a promise and more of a pinky swear with loopholes. Percy is a walking, talking breach of that deal, and Zeus is salty. Poseidon hasn't claimed a kid in forever, so Percy showing up is kind of like someone dropping a nuke into a family reunion. Chiron explains that Percy's very existence is dangerous because children of the Big Three tend to be, well, OP, think main character energy but with the potential to accidentally destroy the world. While Percy's brain is doing mental gymnastics over this, Annabeth swings by to give him a reality check. She's like, congrats, seaweed brain, you've just joined the Your Life is Cursed club. Welcome. Percy's still figuring out how to feel about Annabeth. She's smart, confident, and doesn't hold back with her opinions, which is kind of refreshing but also low-key intimidating. Annabeth has been dreaming of going on a quest her whole life, so the fact that Percy might get one before her? Yeah, she's not thrilled. But she also knows Percy's clueless and needs her guidance, so she's sticking around to mentor him, whether he likes it or not. Then we meet the Oracle, and let me tell you, this thing is straight out of a horror movie. Picture a mummy chilling in an attic, surrounded by green mist, dropping cryptic bars like it's a prophecy rap battle. Percy's just standing there like, am I supposed to ask it questions, or... But before he can bail, the Oracle spits out a prophecy specifically for him. It's all vague and ominous, with lines about betrayal, a dangerous journey, and losing what's most important. Percy's like, great, thanks for the pep talk, spooky mist lady. Now it's official, Percy's going on a quest. The mission? Find Zeus's missing master bolt and return it before the summer solstice, or the gods are going to throw down WWE style. Zeus is convinced Poseidon stole the bolt and gave it to Percy to hide, which is ridiculous, but when you're an immortal sky god with trust issues, logic isn't your strong suit. The problem is, nobody knows where the bolt is. Chiron suspects Hades, because the dude's been shady since forever, and the underworld seems like the kind of place you'd stash a stolen god weapon. Annabeth is hyped to join the quest because, let's face it, she's been waiting for an excuse to flex her demigod skills. Grover's coming too, partly because he's Percy's protector and partly because he has his own personal goal, to find the lost god pan. Side quests, am I right? Together, the three of them form the ultimate ragtag team, kind of like the Straw Hats from One Piece if they were all still figuring out how to use their powers. Before they can leave, Percy gets a crash course in sword fighting from Luke Castellan. Luke's this chill older camper with major cool big brother energy, and he's basically the camp's MVP when it comes to combat. He gives Percy a magic sword called Riptide, which is low-key the coolest weapon ever. It looks like a pen, but when you uncap it, boom, a full-on celestial bronze blade. Percy's like, I'm supposed to fight monsters with a pen? But hey, it's better than nothing. As they gear up for the quest, the camp starts treating Percy differently. Some campers are jealous, others are scared, and a few are placing bets on whether he'll even make it back alive. Annabeth keeps throwing jabs at Percy, calling him seaweed brain, but deep down, you can tell she's low-key rooting for him. Grover, on the other hand, is nervous but loyal. He's like that one healer in your Overwatch squad who sticks with you even when you're making reckless plays. With the prophecy looming over them and the gods watching their every move, Percy's squad heads out, ready to face monsters, betrayal, and whatever else the universe decides to throw their way. Percy's officially leveled up, but the real game is just beginning. And if you think this is chaotic, just wait, it's about to get even wilder. Alright, let's talk about chapters 9 and 10 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief. If you thought Percy's life was already a mess of mythological nonsense, buckle up, because things are about to go full chaos mode. Think Attack on Titan level stakes, but instead of titans, it's angry gods, shady prophecies, and monsters that really need to chill. Percy starts chapter 9 trying to process the fact that he's not just some random kid, he's the center of a god-tier drama. He's been chosen for a quest to save the world from literal divine warfare, and it's like the universe said, congrats, you're the main character now. Good luck not dying. Zeus's stolen lightning bolt needs to be returned by the summer solstice, or it's thunderstorm apocalypse 3000. No pressure, right? Chiron fills Percy in on the fine print, the bolt has probably been yeeted to the underworld, because Hades is acting sus. It makes sense, though. If someone blamed you for a major theft and you were already living in a fiery cave surrounded by skeletons, you'd probably be like, yeah, sure, blame the creepy goth guy. Chiron believes the only way to prove Poseidon's innocence and stop Zeus from frying everyone is for Percy to march down to the underworld and confront Hades. Sounds fun. Now, quests at Camp Half-Blood are a big deal, like winning the lottery but with a 90% chance of death. Before Percy can officially start, he needs a prophecy from the Oracle, which is like the camp's ancient magic 8-ball but way more dramatic. The Oracle drops its spooky rhymes, and the vibes are not good. It predicts betrayal, danger, and something about losing what matters most. Percy's like, oh great, my first quest comes with a side of trauma. Love that for me. Annabeth is hyped, though, because she's been waiting for her shot at a quest forever, and Grover's coming along because he's Percy's protector. Squad assembled. Before heading out, Percy gets some gear. First, he gets Riptide, his sword that looks like a pen until it transforms into a celestial bronze blade. It's low-key the coolest weapon ever, portable, deadly, and impossible to lose. It magically reappears in his pocket if he drops it. Percy's like, sick, my pen is mightier than monsters. Luke Castellan, the camp sword fighting champ, gives Percy a pep talk and some strategy tips. Luke's got that big brother energy, and Percy's low-key trying not to embarrass himself in front of him. The squad sets off on their quest, and it's clear from the jump that this is going to be less of a road trip and more of a Dark Souls campaign. Their first stop is Manhattan, where Percy has a run-in with Gabe, his trash stepdad, to grab some cash and supplies. Gabe is as charming as ever, Reed, human garbage, and Percy realizes he hates this man so much he might accidentally summon a tsunami in the living room. Grover helps Percy keep his cool, though, and the group gets out of there with cash and snacks. Now here's where things start to pop off. The trio heads to a bus terminal, trying to stay low-key, but subtlety is not their strong suit. Enter the Furies, aka Hades' personal attack dogs. They roll up disguised as sweet old ladies, but quickly reveal themselves as nightmare fuel with wings. These monsters are ready to fight, and Percy's like, okay, guess this is happening now. Annabeth takes charge, barking orders like she's leading a League of Legends squad, while Percy pulls out Riptide and goes to town. The fight is messy, but epic. Percy's getting the hang of his sword, and Annabeth shows off her strategic smarts by using her invisibility cap, a gift from Athena, no big deal, to sneak attack the Furies. Meanwhile, Grover's doing his best to keep everyone alive, which is harder than it looks when you're half-goat and carrying a bunch of snacks. In the end, Percy channels some serious main character energy and manages to take down one of the Furies, forcing the others to retreat. It's a win, but barely. After the fight, the squad escapes on the bus, but Percy's starting to realize just how dangerous this quest is. It's not just some weekend camping trip, it's life or death every step of the way. He's also feeling the weight of the prophecy hanging over him. Who's going to betray him? What's he going to lose? He doesn't know, but the anxiety is real. Annabeth tries to reassure him in her own blunt, no-nonsense way, and Grover offers some comforting goat wisdom. It's not much, but it helps Percy hold it together. By the time they make it to their next stop, Percy's starting to see the world differently. Monsters are everywhere, gods are watching, and he's in the middle of it all. It's overwhelming, but also kind of thrilling. Percy's not just some ordinary kid anymore, he's a demigod on a mission, and the stakes have never been higher. And that's where we're at, Percy, Annabeth, and Grover, on the road, battling monsters, dodging prophecies, and trying not to get smited by Zeus. It's messy, chaotic, and utterly wild, and this quest is just getting started.